Hi everyone, this is Tammy with MoonDaughter Esoterica. I'd like to welcome you to this pick of card reading for what needs to heal to bring in a healthy and loving relationship. And today with this pick of card reading, what we're looking at is the core issue that needs to heal within ourselves so that we are ready and able and all of that to bring in a loving, healthy, stable relationship that's completely balanced and supportive on both sides. So we'll look at the core issue as to what's not happening, what's going on there, as to where the imbalance is, why you're not bringing in the relationship that you desire, a true partner, true companion by your side. And since we're looking at the core, we're also going to look at the cause of the core. So whatever is the root of what's going on within you that needs to heal, we're going to look at what caused that. And then we're going to look at how to heal. And then the final card that we'll be looking at is the outcome for the relationship as the healing is completed. So the way this works, this is a timeless reading. The way this works is I'm going to ask you in a few minutes to pause the video and pick the pile of cards that you're drawn to. It could be by the pile. This is pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. It could be by the crystal or item on top of the pile. So pile number 1 is the seashell. Pile number 2 is clear quartz. Pile number 3 is rose quartz. And pile number 4 is tanzanite. And if you'd like to have a personal one-on-one reading with me, I do offer that. You can connect with me through Facebook, or you can send me an email if you have any questions or you'd like to purchase a one-on-one reading. I'll leave all of that in the description box below, my Facebook link and the link to my email. So with that having been said, I'm going to ask you to take a moment, pause the video, and pick out the pile of cards you would like, and we'll get started. So I'm going to move the rest of these cards out of the way, and we're going to take a look at pile number 1. Wow, that was loud. I'm terribly sorry. Okay, so for you, pile number 1, the first card we have for the cause is One Ring Circus. But it's in reverse. It's in the challenging position. So the first thing I think about when I see One Ring Circus in reverse is that you've had to spend a lot of time in your life running the show. The responsibility has always fallen on your shoulders. And it may have even been like do or die. This could be from childhood where you were the oldest sibling trying to take care of the younger siblings in a dysfunctional, unhealthy family environment. This could be that there was always pressure to succeed, either from your parents, from school teachers, from your peers, something like that. But this is an overwhelming burden to me, that you feel like you have to do everything yourself. There is a bit of that stemming from being disappointed and maybe having a difficulty in being disappointed. But I feel like some of this could be from a very real thing, where if somebody let you down, the whole house of cards tumbled. I do feel like this is in the past, though. So I feel like that's what they're bringing up to heal now, so that you can realize that you can share your time, your space with another person, that you can begin to trust another person, trust yourself with another person, and allow them in to be able to have a balanced and loving relationship. You can trust them with tasks, money, your heart, all of those things. So let's take a look at the cause of this. First card I have is Six of Pentacles. So yeah, this does feel like a lot of things needing to be taken care of. This is very physical material, so this could very well be survival things from when you were younger, where you had to take care of yourself. There wasn't really anybody there to take care of you in an adequate way. And I feel like you had this huge bit of compassion for anyone in that position, and part of you wants to make sure that everything's fair and balanced, and that everybody has everything that they need. The second card we have is Ace of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. So I think the biggest missing piece here is that you making sure that you have everything you need. And there may not have always been enough food when you were trying to make sure your siblings ate. There may not have always been enough to go around, and so you would put yourself last. Because every time you included yourself in the mix, it's almost like there wasn't enough for anybody, that nobody got what they needed. And so I feel like you, for the longest time, put yourself last. And then you got out of that situation, and it's almost like the pendulum swing has gone the complete opposite direction, where there's nobody really around that you trust to support and take care of you. And it's easier for you if you just put up walls and keep as many people out, because without the proper resources, you're not going to have enough to pass around and to take care of yourself. So depending on where you are on that scale, you may still be in the place where you're putting yourself last and you're sacrificing for other people, and you feel like you just have to. There's not enough for you. They are bringing healing into this area of your life where you can find a balance that includes you and other people as well. So I want to start to take a look at the How to Heal. Now the card that I got from the Lantern of the Soul Oracle deck is Peace. Even amidst this turmoil, peace is available within and around. Be your shelter now. So this is really speaking to me if you have been in an abusive environment, if you came up in a dysfunctional family, peace may not have always been around. You may have assumed the role of the peacemaker, and perhaps taking care of everyone else and making sure everyone else's needs were met made peace for you. It took the radar off of you so that you wouldn't have to deal with the tirades and the arguments, the fights, and maybe even the physical abuse. And I feel like you're still trying to seek that. And maybe some of you are just absolutely exhausted, tired. You can't do anymore, so you've pulled into yourself. The interesting thing I want to point out about this, though, is the Be Your Shelter Now. It's great to go inside. That's where you find your space of peace. But understand it's a shelter. It's not where you stay. You are still expected by universe to go out and interact with the world, to go out and interact with other people. And you're being asked at this time to open up a little bit more, to allow yourself to trust other people, to allow other people to come in and be able to assist you, provide for you, and being able to trust that that's not going to be turned against you. You're not in that abusive environment anymore. It's not going to be thrown in your face. That you really have to be willing to meet somebody halfway to have a balanced relationship. The next card for the How to Heal section is the Horse. And this is interesting. Accepting help from another and delegating authority. So this may actually be baby steps for you. You don't have to just throw your burdens on or your responsibilities on someone else's lap and just trust that they're going to take care of it. This could be starting from a very small space. The Horse to me is also your spirit team coming in and letting you know that they're there with you. They've got you. They're not going to allow you to fall. You almost did before, but they were there helping you, giving you the strength, giving you the intelligence, giving you the wherewithal to be able to manage and keep safe not only yourself, but other people, to be able to provide not only for yourself, but for other people. But they're wanting you to now turn that more on allowing your spirit team to come in, allowing other people to come in, and trusting them that they won't let you down. You're not in such a dire place anymore, so it is safe to trust other people. It is safe to hand off small tasks, small pieces of your vulnerability to other people when you're trying to connect with them and have a relationship with them. It's safe now to do so. And the next card we have is Butterfly, which says beauty. So there could be a bit of wanting things to be just so. Wanting things to happen quickly, wanting things to be done in a certain way. And your team is saying that's actually sort of like a cocoon or a safety net for you. Because if you set your standards so high, nobody can reach them, so then nobody wants to try. It's a bit of that wall that you're putting up where people are almost intimidated to step forward. And this could be the reason why you're having a difficult time proceeding once you meet somebody that you're interested in. Or this may be issues that are coming up in your love relationship at this moment. So there is a bit of, I'm not saying lower your standards. I'm saying take a step back, breathe, give your partner the chance to come in and maybe meet you halfway, or maybe even meet your standards. But I am getting some conflict with this. So, let's go very basic and say that you're having an issue with household chores. And this could even be with your kids too, having somebody unload the dishwasher. Maybe that's just too much for you to trust them with, because maybe the knives have to be all facing the same way. And so you can't trust anybody to unload the dishwasher right or to load the dishwasher right. And this is a very basic, almost silly example, but this actually is something that can come up in relationships and create big problems. That's not the issue. These underlying issues are. But I'm giving that as an example. So being able to, at this time, take steps in giving small responsibilities to people around you and standing back and seeing how they handle it. The butterfly does not become a butterfly overnight. There are steps, there are stages. So you may have to teach your love interest that you want the knives to go a certain way, and maybe remind them a couple of times. Or maybe just throw that whole idea out the window. But this is a step-by-step process, and it cannot begin until you start allowing people to have a bit of responsibility, to have the ability to connect with you a little deeper. Sure, they might disappoint you, but you are more than strong enough to handle that. So you're being asked to give them a chance. And so let's look at what type of relationship is going to come in as you heal this. Okay, this is crazy. You can't make this stuff up. Show your support. There is someone who really does want to be supportive of you, who really does want to be a 50-50 partner with you and to build something beautiful with you. But you have to be able to accept their support. You have to understand, too, that a lot of people don't support each other the same way you may. And so allowing room for that, allowing room for your partner or for your love interest to show you how they support, to be able to communicate what you actually need to be supported and to be able to accept that support. So I hope you found this reading helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I hope to see you next time. I want to thank you very much for stopping by. And now we're going to go on to pile number 2. So this is for pile number 2. If you chose a clear quartz, this is your pile. So let's take a look at the cause, at what needs to heal within you so that you can bring in a loving and healthy relationship. And the card we have here is Sacred Pool. And the Sacred Pool, when it's upright, talks about being in the flow with the divine. And so what I'm getting from this card is that perhaps you're trying to manifest something that just isn't right for you. You're trying to manifest a specific person, a specific look, dark hair, light hair, blue eyes, brown eyes, all of those. It feels like you're being almost a little bit too picky or too specific, and I don't mean to be blunt like that, but I feel like you're going against the flow with what the divine has planned for you. And if you really want that love partner that is healthy, balanced, loving, deeply connected to you, sometimes you just have to go with the flow and turn the Sacred Pool right side up and go with the flow and trust that the divine is leading you where you need to be. This could also be a cause from some heartache, and we will take a look at the cause cards next. But I am feeling that there is some heartache here, and so you're sort of just stuck in a stagnant area of this pool. And that's okay. Take the time you need to grieve and let go of that relationship. What you don't want to do is hold on to something that was not healthy, that is over and gone. And you may be wondering why. We'll see what the cause cards have to say. But a lot of times you're not going to get that why from the other person. The really good thing is I don't feel like you're turning it on yourself, thinking you're not good enough or whatever. I feel like you're just maybe stagnant because of heartbreak, and so that's finally coming into clearing for you and to healing for you. Or you're going against the grain, insisting that this person was the absolute one, the only one, and so you're being asked to go with the flow in the sacred pool to allow that healing to occur. The cause. We have the High Priestess here, and the High Priestess is a keeper of secrets. She is also an indication of positive things going on behind the scenes. So if there's this heartbreak that's really having you stay stagnant in this sacred pool, understand that there are a lot of positive things going on behind the scenes that you're unaware of. So it's not necessarily something you have to consciously focus on. And sometimes in feeling and grieving and moving through, we're healing a lot faster than we know. The second card is the Devil in reverse. Yes, yeah, I'm really picking up on that for some of you, that this is a relationship or a situation that you just can't let go of. The good news, though, is that the Devil is in reverse, so you're starting to. If you look at the figures in the card, the chains around their neck are very loose and can be, around their neck are very loose, and they can be removed at will. They're choosing to stay in place. When this card is upright, this talks about being bound to somebody, even if it's not healthy for you. This card can even be as extreme as addictions. And sometimes in unhealthy relationships, we do get sort of addicted to the unhealthy person. Whatever the situation, if this applies for you, you are starting to let go of that. And I think with this High Priestess energy here, you've been doing a lot more to let go of that and to move through that than you know. It's really important that we take the time and grieve ended relationships, grieve what we invested ourselves in, the future that we thought was going to be, grieve what could have been and the plans that we made. And sometimes those are the hardest things to let go of, and it's painful, and I mean, quite frankly, it sucks. And it doesn't seem like this seems like almost a deep pool that you will never get out of. But I think you are. I think you've already been doing this work, moving for this, and I feel like you're further than you actually know. Now, the High Priestess upright also is the keeper of secrets, so this is also discovering things about yourself. So if you're feeling stuck, look into yourself. Discover things about yourself that maybe wasn't balanced or was responding to imbalance, or why you want something to happen a certain way and it can't happen any other way. I feel like those answers are within you, and excuse me, that's also part of what's keeping you stuck here. So let's look at healing. How are we going to heal this? Oh, well, here we go. Look, I did not look at these cards before I dealt them out, before I came on camera. This is crazy. So the step one in healing card is self. It says there are times when we have to uphold our own well-being, even when others need us, so that we may continue to help others in the long run. Create a safe and sacred space for yourself now. And here's the thing. I feel like you're already doing this. I feel like this is just a reminder for you that you need to be reminded that this is over and done. Whatever this toxicity was, whatever this was that you were resisting or couldn't get away from, I think you finally did. And for some of you, this could have been a quite abusive or narcissistic partner in a relationship. This could even go back to childhood and be narcissistic parents. But you are already going within and creating that safe and sacred space for yourself now. So this is really interesting. I don't feel like there's a whole lot you can do to push forward. I think you're already doing the healing, which is beautiful. So this is an encouragement to keep doing what you're doing. Keep checking in with yourself. Keep checking in with how you feel. Let go of all of those things, the things that could have been, because whoever this was just couldn't. Just couldn't. It was never going to happen anyway. It was part of the dream, the thing that got you trapped, the thing that got you wanting to move forward. And if this is not an abusive relationship, it's all of those things. So, maybe the vision of the perfect life where you've got the house, the picket fence, the dog, the cat, the 2.5 kids, like all of that. And that's something that you're unable to let go of. And perhaps you're focused on one specific person. And so you want to go within yourself and see what that person does for you, how that person makes you feel, why that person. And I feel like you're already starting to do this, but as you do this more and more, as you go within, creating that safe and sacred space within yourself to be able to explore these ideas, these chains are going to get looser and looser and looser. So let's see what else we have. Okay, well here, letting go. I love it when it works out like this. So we have the letting go card, and it is time to let go. You're working toward it. So this isn't, it'd be great if we could just go, okay, I'm done, dust our hands and be done with something. But I feel like as you create that space for yourself, you can release and let go of whatever safety, security, happiness, high, whatever this was, you'll be able to let go of this more and more as you tune into yourself and find out what it is within you that was holding you to this ideal, to this person, keeping you stuck in this situation. So I do see that, yes, part of your healing is creating that sacred space for yourself and letting go. Again, I feel like you're already doing this. This takes time. And so perhaps that's why you're here. You're thinking, I've done all the things. I've let go of this. I've let go of that. And if you have done all those things, that's wonderful. The next step is to take inventory within yourself. One, so you don't wind up in a relationship like this again. You don't want to get stuck or going upstream or bound to something that is not healthy for you. And the second card we have is the truth. So again, seeking the truth within ourselves is really, really important. And so as you heal from the could have beens and the promise of the future and all of those things, you'll be able to actually see the truth of the dynamic within the relationship and within you. Because what you bring to the relationship is something that I don't feel as actively apparent, and that's why you're going inside. Like, how did I even get here? What did I do? How did I wind up in this situation? It was so good. Or why am I stuck on this one person or this one idea? What is the truth? Because whatever this is that you were stuck on represents something for you. And it's something that you feel you may be missing with inside yourself. And that's why it's so important that another person bring this into your life. And I think as you're going through this process, excuse me, as you're going through this process, you're starting to see that, no, everything that you wanted in that situation, you actually bring, you actually have within yourself. So let's see what kind of relationship is coming in for you as you heal this. Oh, this is a tough one. Vulnerability. So this is actually going to be a next challenge for you, but I think that as you heal, this is going to be easier and easier. You need someone that you can be vulnerable with, that you can trust with your vulnerability. And I feel like when this person comes in, they're going to be almost offering you their vulnerability. And I don't know that you're going to know what to do with it if it were to come in right now. If it were to be dropped on your doorstep, if this person was standing there with a bouquet of flowers, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And that's okay. This takes time. We are healing. As you find the truth that everything you thought you needed in this situation is actually within yourself, then you can allow yourself to be more vulnerable and allow others to be vulnerable with you. So this is a very beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was helpful for you. We're going to move on now to pile number 3. Okay, pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3 with the rose quartz, this is your reading. So the first card we're looking at is going to be the cause. What needs to heal? What are we looking at here? And the card that came up for you is encouragement. Now that's an interesting card. You wouldn't think you would need to heal from encouragement. So I want to say that this is more talking about that you need more encouragement. You need more courage to move forward, to accept and give love to another person. We'll see how this plays out with the rest of the cards. But, you know, it's interesting that this is such a bright and happy card and being encouraged and encouraging other people. But I feel like perhaps you just need a little bit more courage. You need a little bit more, you know, a little boot to the bum, and maybe that's what this reading is about for you. You guys are saying, hey, you can do this. Let's see. So let's take a look at the cause for this. Why do you need encouragement? Oh my, okay. So this is the King of Pentacles in reverse, and this king is a very overbearing, stubborn, masculine energy. This could be male or female, and I want to go all the way back to childhood with this. So this could be an authority figure. It could be a father, an overbearing mother, a teacher, someone in authority that really had you wrapped up. Things had to be their way or the highway. You weren't heard. You weren't appreciated. You never felt a solid connection with this person. It was always changing. It was always about their comfort, their needs, their happiness. So this is, you know, sociopathic or narcissistic abuse for sure. This is the type of person this is. But they just wouldn't budge. They wouldn't hear what you had to say. And this could have carried forward too. As we know, we do sometimes carry those unhealthy childhood patterns forward into relationships. So you may have had and are getting out of or have gotten out of a relationship with a person of this type where they just force their wants and needs. They don't listen. And again, it's very unbalanced, their way or the highway. For some of you, I am getting parental energy though. So you would need encouragement to actually stand up and say what you like, say what you think. And all of those things are how we let people in. That's how we make connections with people. So I do see a lot of healing coming to that past relationship. And we've got the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles isn't in any big of a hurry. Now, he communicates slowly, he or she communicates slowly and in a very practical way. And I feel like this healing is coming in for you that way, where you're getting small things. It's almost like you're putting yourself, your heart, your life, your soul back together again. And with this being a page, pages can be children. And so I want to say this does stem all the way from childhood. And each time you get a piece, you want to show it to the world. You want to show it off. You want to offer it. But this person here had no interest. This person's pentacle here is bigger, prettier, nicer. That person's, they don't want this piddly little thing that you have to offer. But I do see piece by piece you are starting to put that back together for yourself. So being able to take each piece, examine it. Again, I'm drawn to how this page is looking at this pentacle. Being able to examine it both sides, see its value, see its worth. And so I feel like this is definitely pieces of you that you're doing so, and you're being encouraged to continue this process. Depending on how painful this situation was, this could take quite a bit of time, but I see you're actively working on it and have been from some time. So we're going to look at how to heal this. The first card we have is sadness, and this card says your heart is grieving at this time, both for what is and what couldn't be. Embrace your valuable tears, allowing them to heal you. And so I think you're probably at the point of healing with this where you're still in the grief process, and that's okay. Don't rush through grief. The quickest way, if you want to get through grief quickly, is to sit with it, feel it, allow it to flow through you, and then flow out of it. When we stop trying to feel sad, when we stop the tears, when we stop the grieving process, and shove it down inside of us, it just stays there. It never moves on. So we never move past that point of grief, that point of sadness. And so you're being asked, as you collect these pieces, as you see the value and worth of each one of them, to grieve what is and what couldn't be on both sides. Sit in it, allow yourself to be sad. It is a sad situation. It's really sad that you were treated that way. It's really sad that you had to come through a situation to the other side where you had to pick each piece of yourself back up and put yourself back together. But as you do, you're cleaning, you're healing, you're seeing the value of each and every piece. And it's important during that process that you grieve what should have been, what could have been, what you needed that wasn't met, the times where you were diminished by this person. It's okay to spend time grieving each and every piece. And it may seem time consuming, but it really is the quickest way. I see you moving through this. The next card on how to heal is the Grail Knight. So there is some perfectionism here. This person could very well be a Virgo because they're very perfectionistic. But this person also took it to the next level, to an obsession. The Grail Knight talks about romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. But sometimes it's not actually sacred. It's this unattainable level of perfection. This person here is always dissatisfied. And their satisfaction comes from their dissatisfaction with themselves. But they are going to project it on everyone around them. If this was a father or a mother, you never felt good enough. You never felt what you had to contribute to the family, to that relationship, was ever pleasing to this person. And so there may be an element of that. If you're still carrying around that need to please, that need to keep the peace, that need to be acknowledged, recognized by someone, that is what needs to heal. So you really want to, as you're looking at these pieces, you want to look and see why you're doing things, why you're looking for a relationship, what type of relationship are you looking for. If you found yourself in another abusive relationship after leaving your family home, you want to take a look at what you were seeking within that. Was it comfort? Was it trying to reach that sacred sweet spot to get approval? So maybe this person you could never please, but the one similar held you sacred at one time, and you just tried to earn their love but never felt loved. I do feel like this is something that you want to take a look at and see if there's any healing that needs to be done there. You have to understand that you are good enough. You have to understand your value, your worth. Even the tiny pieces have value and worth. And so once you put them together, or as you're putting them together even, you don't have to be whole to do this. As you're putting these pieces back together, there is worth, there is enough, there is something that you have to offer to someone that is good enough for them. And the next card we have is protection. So the flip side of that, of being willing to offer something and trusting that it's good enough and knowing that it's good enough, and so being able to share yourself with another person, is a need for protection. So a lot of times when you're in a one-way relationship or an abusive relationship, you just try to make the other person happy. That gives you protection, that gives you peace. And so the way you protect yourself is by overdoing, by overcompensating, by constantly finding things to bring and offer to the other person. So what you're healing right now is issues of self-worth. It's issues of self-protection. It's issues of letting go of the need for acceptance. You are finding value in yourself. You don't need the acceptance that I think you've been looking for quite a long time. That acceptance pushes the sadness away. So they're saying sit in the grief, heal from it, understand your worth. And that will give you protection like you've never had before, because you're going to know your value, you're going to know your worth, and you're going to know when you're being treated negatively by someone like this person here. The need to be perfect, the need for everything to be sacred and pleasing will go away. That's what needs to heal within you. I see you're doing it though. Again, you've got encouragement. You want to move from this desperate need for approval to one of just needing encouragement every once in a while. So let's see what the relationship will look like on the other side of healing. So we have leap of faith. Oh, that's a hard one. It's a really hard one when you're having to be very conscious of another person's and responsible for another person's feelings, happiness, approval, and maybe even for your own personal safety. So as this heals, the next step in this and moving into a relationship, it will be a leap of faith. You will have to take a look at this person, say, I see no red flags, I see no signs, I see this person really wants to be in a healthy, loving, balanced relationship. And you will have healed a lot of the trust issues, but there comes a point in time that you just have to take the leap of faith. Know that you've got yourself protected, you've got yourself covered. You're not going to allow yourself to come to harm again once all of this is healed. And if something happens, if you've misjudged someone, if you start to see the signs, you also know how to grieve and walk away from a situation where it was only potential and the outcome would not be healthy for you. So as you heal all of this up, be willing to take a leap of faith. Okay, pile number 3. I hope you found that reading helpful. Going to clean this up and move on to pile number 4. So if you chose the Tanzanite, pile number 4, this is your reading. So pile number 4, we're going to take a look at the cause, at what needs to shift and heal at this time for you to bring in a healthy and loving relationship. And the cause I'm getting is Dragon's Lair, but it's in reverse. So I do feel like there are some safety issues here, and we'll take a look at the root of that. But Dragon's Lair is a place that is protected. It may be a bit cold and foreboding, but because of that, it's also very protected. And I feel like you may already be, sorry about the camera jiggle there, you may already be actively healing this, because I feel like at one time you were in the Dragon's Lair and you were in this almost frozen jail cell where you were just afraid to go out, where you were afraid to connect, where you were afraid to let people in because it didn't feel safe. This card has flipped though, so in reverse, I feel like you're starting to sort of melt this ice. You're starting to understand that you're protected, and it's not just when you're in that Dragon's Lair that you have protection. So you're starting to step out of that. Let's take a look at the cause of this. Okay, so the first one we have is the Knight of Swords. Now the Knight of Swords, this could be a person. It's a masculine energy. This person moves very fast and doesn't really think before they act. Now if this is a person, this person can be very jealous, can be very swift and harsh in judgment, can be physically abusive as well, mentally abusive. So I'm not sure what situation you're coming in. If you're in a situation where it was life-threatening, where you had to leave and go into hiding and all of that, that makes a lot of sense with this Dragon's Lair, because you are finally ready to sort of step out of that safety net, step out of that cocoon, and feel safe and protected outside of that environment, outside of having to run and hide from this person. The next card we have is a Hermit in the upright position. So wow, number 4, I feel like a lot of you have left a very challenging, very difficult situation behind. And so what may be taking so long is having to hide out, having to start over, having to really go within for protection of this person. If that's not the case, if you're not running from someone who is dangerous for you, this could also be yourself not making wise decisions, not thinking things through, and sort of getting yourself jammed up and in a jail by not thinking things through, by just going from one thing to another, one person to another, perhaps not really getting to know them very well, and, you know, serial relationship sort of thing. Either way, I do see that you're spending more time within yourself. You're starting to see that this is not working. You're starting to see that this prison was created by your failure to think ahead. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but this is the cause of this. If this is not a person, if this is a person, there's really nothing you could do. You got yourself safe, and you are now trying to find a way out of that and be able to do so without fear. But if this is not a person, and this is really making rash decisions and maybe backing yourself into a corner before you realize it, I do see that you are starting to slow down now and go within and trying to figure out what the next step is before you take action. So let's see how this is going to heal. First card we have is closeness. Now, closeness says we see through the pain of our past experiences. As we heal, we begin to open up slowly. It is safe to start letting your walls down at this time. So this is an absolutely amazing, beautiful card. I love it when they tie things together. I did not look at these cards before I did the video. I just dealt them out and piled them up. So this is really beautiful. I think overwhelmingly, this is telling you that safety is coming. It is now safe to start opening up, to start beginning your life, to start looking for a partner, to start looking for a relationship, a connection with someone. And I do feel like you are doing this. These walls, this dragon's lair is in reverse. So you're actively doing this, which is great. This is a big thumbs up. Keep doing what you're doing. The answers are within. If you've reacted to something without really thinking about it, if you've made poor decisions, it's not a reflection of your overall character or anything like that. We all make rash decisions. We all make mistakes. That's how we learn, right? So, but I do see that you are going in and seeing why there was a hurry, why you weren't ready to take the time to make decisions. Was there a fear of maybe putting yourself in prison, and so you wanted to live life a little bit more free without thinking about the consequences of your actions? That is coming up to heal too. But because of all of this, the walls are coming down. Let's see what else we have for how to heal it. Risk. And I don't know if you can see on the card, there is 3 different pathways. And, you know, if this was an abusive relationship, if you really had to run and hide and all of that for your life or for your safety, it would only be natural that stepping out of that dragon's lair is going to feel like a risk. And you're not sure which way to go. So I think that the best thing to do would be to slow down and examine whatever passes before you. Now, I'm not suggesting you take this to an unhealthy level where, you know, each step you take down a path, you have to know, is this right? Is this right? I'm saying that feeling that way is absolutely normal, appropriate for what you've been through. Conversely, if this is not thinking things through and acting rashly, you should take a look with discernment inside of you. What is driving that need to take a risk? Because this guy's a risk taker. He's a bad boy. He'll ride a motorcycle without a helmet, 120 miles an hour, always taking risks because he doesn't see the consequences of his actions. And so the way to be able to heal that is to be able to take a moment and see the possible outcomes, the possible consequences of the decisions you make. And I do feel like that you are coming to a crossroads, excuse me, where you are having to really assess the risk. And for some of you, again, it could be very real. But taking it one step at a time, investigating, looking as far as you can see down the path, is going to help you out. And it's also going to help you step outside of those walls. The last healing card is trust. And I feel like this is trusting yourself, trusting the support network around you. So I do feel like you are entering a period of safety. I don't feel like this person is actively pursuing you anymore. You may have gotten far away. You are safe. This person, you're off this person's radar. They're not looking for you. They're not going to show up and you know, cause you any harm at all. Repeatedly, these cards are saying you're safe. Trust that not only are you safe, but that you now have the experience and knowledge to assess risk, to know what to look for, and to be able to look down the path a ways. I mean, you can see this sort of goes down and there's a little hill up and then a dip down, but this is quite a distance. So you do have the ability to assess your risk and trust yourself that you're going to keep yourself safe. However you got out of this situation took a lot of strength and courage. It's going to keep you from getting back into this situation, and the ability to trust yourself, and that the world isn't full of horrible, horrible people, that you do have a very good chance of meeting somebody who's not like this. As you're healing this up, as you're going within, you're starting to see how you got in that situation, how you got yourself out of the situation. And again, if this is not thinking things through or not looking at the consequences of your actions, look and see what the need to take a risk is doing for you. Learn how to assess what lies ahead so it's not quite risky. And trust that you've got this, that this path can be just as adventurous, but with less risk, with less negative consequences. And what this does moving forward into a relationship is, perhaps entering a relationship with someone might feel like being trapped. Maybe you're not ready to let go of your freedom, your youth, or maybe you think you do and you get into a relationship and realize you don't and you hop back out of it. Yes, it's a risk to connect with another person, but you have to trust each step of the process and not try to get all the way over here. You have to trust your ability to make decisions, to see where things are going, to see the consequences of your actions, and trust in yourself and the other person to also do the same. And again, if this is coming out of an abusive relationship, there is a trust in yourself that you can keep yourself safe and you can start to let those walls down and begin meeting people again. It's safe to do so. And so we're going to take a look at the results, at the relationship that is coming in. This is really interesting. I wondered why I got 2 cards on this. 2 cards came out for you. So we have make a decision, which I'll hold up here, and we have renewal of peace. So I really feel like the renewal of peace, if you are coming out of a dangerous, life-threatening or body-threatening relationship, you are taking the time with this hermit to find peace. And as you do, as peace settles within your heart, as you start to see that you are safe and that you can take care of yourself and that you know the risks, you're not going to be blindsided by it, I do feel like a tremendous amount of peace is being brought into you. And that will allow you, as this heals, you will be able to be in a place of peace and be able to connect with another person, trusting them. There is a bit of vulnerability here that I'm seeing here, trusting that you're being looked over, trusting that you are safe, that this person won't harm you, and that you'll be protected from anything that's coming into the world. Also knowing that you can protect yourself. So I do see a beautiful union with this. And if you're the risk taker, if you're the one that didn't really think your actions through, they're saying make a decision. You totally can now. But whatever this felt like in prison, and maybe even making a decision, making a commitment to yes or no, left or right, felt too imprisoning for you. But I do feel like you're coming into the center of yourself. You're becoming more solid. You're wanting to not be surprised by the negative consequences, or conversely have someone else make a decision for you. Because if we just coast around and we don't really commit to anything, or don't stay committed to something for very long, then we have to live with the consequences that other people decide. We have to live with the decisions of other people. So this is really about becoming empowered within yourself, trusting that you can make a decision, trusting that making a decision doesn't put shackles on you or imprison you in any way. It actually helps you decide what the consequences are going to be, rather than letting other people do so for you. And I feel like the person that's coming in is going to sort of push you to do this. Is going to be like, make a decision, yes, no. Do you want to go out to dinner tonight? Do you want to move in together? All of these things. This person, when you start to slip back into this person is going to remind you. So Don't take it personally. Don't make it a point of argument or discomfort. This almost feels like it has soulmate ties, and that this person is going to help you walk this path. This person is going to do the best they can to help you stay on this path. And the first step to this is making a decision. So I hope you found this reading helpful. Many blessings to you. And if you did like this and you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you'd like a personal one-on-one reading, again, you can contact me either through email or through Facebook. I want to thank you again for stopping by and taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you on the next one. Many blessings.